everyone, my name's Tanisha. I come from India. Uh, Currently, my parents live in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, India, and I came to the States in 2016 for my undergraduation, and I went to Arkansas State University. And then for a graduate program, I applied to Clemson and came here in 2019. And it's been great 2 years so far, and I graduated in May, so super excited for that.
Why did you choose to study communication, and why did you specifically choose this master's program?
So when I was in 12th grade, I was planning on going into engineering or architecture. And then my dad was like, "Are you sure you want to go into this? I know that you're really interested in communication and languages." And I was like, "You know what, you're right." So I looked into communication programs and thus chose communication. And then for Clemson, in my undergrad program, I was very involved with the communication center at Arkansas State, and I wanted to continue that. So I looked for programs which had the comm center aspect into them, and Clemson was on the top of my list. And then they offered me the graduate student director position. So basically, I'm an assistant director at the comm center. So I get to help the comm center and Alyssa, who's the director over there, with administration stuff, tutoring, supervising interns. And that's why I chose Clemson, because not only I got to do graduate studies, but I also got to do communication center. So here we are.
Nice. So are you involved in any clubs or organizations on campus?
So currently I am involved with GACS, which is basically communication, but the graduate level communication studies club. And also just a lot of my time is spent with the grad program and directing and then internship studies. But yeah, primarily I'm involved with GACS.
Awesome. So have you had any internship or work experience, and what was the most impactful part of those experiences?
So for the past 1.5, 2 years, I've been closely working with the department as well as outside the department. So with the department, I did my internship with the SMLC, which is the Social Media Listening Center. And over there, we just basically did a lot of analysis, social media analysis for our clients, for their competitors, and just a lot of behind the scenes of social media, not just posting and the front end of it. And currently I'm interning with a publication in Greenville, and I actually got recommended for that through my advisor. So it's a very small scale diversity and women-led publication, and I'm working with them to develop their social media and just their strategic communication program.
So where do you see yourself in either 5 or 10 years down the line?
5 or 10 years down the line, hopefully I'll be working within my field. So I really do want to work within digital media and social media. And I hope to be working within that field and just made a lot of progress within. As we know, social media evolves so quickly and it's really difficult, but also interesting to keep up with it. So down the line, 5 to 10 years, have a great family, work in my field of choice, and just be happy.
And then what areas, I mean, you kind of answered it with social media and everything, but what areas are you interested in potentially researching within the study of communication?
So I have studied a lot and researched a lot within the field of cause advertising and marketing, as well as feminism in digital tech and digital media, and social movements that occur on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. So #MeToo. It's on us, all these campaigns. So I've researched a lot about them for the past semesters, and currently I'm focusing more on cause advertising and cause marketing.
Cool. I took a class, I'm a women's leadership major, and we had a whole class on #MeToo, but more as a movement and how different countries adopted different hashtags and interpreted it.
Right, and it was so interesting to see because not only, it wasn't just within the US, it
Right.
was in different countries, and they had their own version of #MeToo. So
Right.
that was definitely a movement to study. So I'm glad you got to actually take a class on that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a fun question, but what are you passionate about?
Oh my gosh. Studies or in general?
Anything. In general,
Okay.
how they intersect, whatever it may be.
Okay, that's fair. I'm really passionate about women education. women's education and just feminism in our society. A lot of times you hear how we don't need feminism or women have equal rights and why do we need to have all these movements? But just, I'm really passionate about proving a point, like we do need these movements. We still have wage gap. We still have gender inequality. A lot of girls back home, especially in India, they don't get the opportunity to study that I got. I was privileged enough to get. So I am really passionate about these subjects. And I'm glad that through my program, I was just able to study more into these things and not just our basic communication stuff, but how does that intersect with women, girls' rights, all of these things. So.
Yeah. Okay, if you think about the relationships that you've developed during your time at Clemson, either with like within your cohort or faculty members, which ones stand out?
I think all of them. And obviously COVID-19 did take away a lot of that in-person experience from us, but especially the first semester when I came in and all the students we came in were just like, yeah, like so excited. And then grad school hits you. And I was so lucky to have the cohort that I have. We were always there for each other. And you really get close to these people because you're constantly with them in classes, outside of classes, you're teaching, all these things. So your lives kind of have the same schedule, the same timetable. So you rely a lot on them for support, for encouragement, for advice. So I think the friendships that I've gained from the program have definitely like stood the test of time. And hopefully they will last me lifelong.
What are the most substantial ways in which you have grown either personally or professionally during your time here at Clemson?
So definitely just speaking up more. I was already an extrovert, but after coming to the program, you realize like how important it is for your voice to be heard and for you to speak up. A lot of times you have great ideas, you have great thoughts, great views, but if you don't speak them out loud, it won't have the same impact. So my program, like having these classes which are not too large and just having that one-on-one attention with your professor, it encourages you to speak up in class and just show that, hey, like I have great ideas and I have some unique viewpoints that are that deserve to be heard by everyone. So just giving me that push to, hey, like if you have an idea, speak up, like it's probably a really good idea. So.
And then are there any current projects that you're working on?
So right now, I actually take my comprehensive exams this weekend. So yeah, I have been reading for that for a long time now. So finally excited to write it all down, put all my ideas into words, and all the insight that I've gained for the past 4 semesters and just put them down on paper. And besides that, I am taking a couple of classes, such as human computing, which I plan on writing a paper about gender discrimination in multiplayer games. So for example, if you play PUBG, Counter-Strike, or Fortnite, all these games, like if a woman enters that playing field, they get bullied, they get discriminated against. And then for my media effects class, I plan on doing a project, which is, I personally love reading. So I was like, what's better than doing a project about books? So writing a research paper about books and transportation and how when we read, we really just like enter the world of those books and those characters and like think of ourselves as the main character. So I plan to write a paper about transportation and novels.
What advice would you give to a prospective student in the Department of Communication?
So first of all, apply for that grad program. It is so important. If you feel like you want to study more, it is so important to just go ahead and apply and pursue that program that you want. A lot of times people take breaks in between. My personal advice would be don't take a break. Go ahead after your undergrad, just do your grad program because you're still in the mental space of studying and reading and doing assignments and weekly posts, whatever. So just keep going and finish it out because I feel like once you enter the real world and professional world, coming back to this style of learning will be a little difficult. So right as soon as you graduate from undergrad, go for that graduate degree and get it all done, get it out of the way and have that like skill set of knowledge and research tools that you have and apply that to your professional job.